This is Faisal, your coach and a lifelong student of philosophy, spirituality, and sciences. In this week's episode, Facebook Live episode, I want to talk about confidence. Before I go into that, take a look around. It's really nice around here. Birds everywhere. It's a nice park. People are walking around. Nice pond there. If you're gonna call it a pond. So I wanted to go into confidence. What confidence is, and what are some of the things that we can do to increase our level of confidence. Put on my gloves here so I don't get too cold. It's nice weather here today. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you can just post it there and I'll be able to read it, hopefully, and I can answer it for you. Now, let's go into confidence. What does confidence mean? First of all, confidence, what it means is your ability to believe in yourself, your self-belief, your self-assurance, to know that you can do whatever you think you can, or you can be whatever you think you can be. And that's a simple definition of it, but let's go deeper into confidence. I believe that there are three types of confidence. First one is a superficial confidence that most people know. So that's the confidence that you see when you go to the gym. When you see a lot of people lifting weights, a lot of men lifting weights, and they're walking around like they own the floor. That's, a lot of people look at that as negatively, but I don't actually. Because that confidence, that level of confidence, even though it is superficial, it has a little bit of a value in it. And I'll explain why. Because if you study how our mind and how our body works, you realize that they're very connected. So the way you carry your body is how your mind will respond to you, and the way you carry your mind will help your body respond accordingly. So what does that mean? So if you're walking around, or if you're sitting or standing, or if you're talking to people with a body language that appears more confident, that where your shoulders are straight, you're looking the person in the eye, and you're not more nervous, or at least you're appearing like you're not more nervous, you're not hunched forward. What that signals to your mind is that your body is in a good position. So look at the contrast of that. If your shoulders are hunched forward, your head is down, and you're talking to somebody, you don't really feel that confident, do you? And that's the connection between mind and body. So at the surface level, I still think that that adds a lot of value, because if you pretend to be confident to a certain extent, superficially, at least temporarily, it signals to your mind that you want to be confident at least, or your mind believes it temporarily. So in that sense, you start to believe it yourself, because your mind starts to believe it. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So what does that mean? Now, that means that, there you go. Oh, we got some people joining in. Welcome to the live session. Now, what does that mean? That means that for you to be confident, you should keep a good body posture. You should have your shoulders straight, pay attention to your body. You should walk with your chest out, not too much, but just normally. And you should look people in the eye when you're talking. That will raise your level of confidence to a certain degree. Now, the second one that I wanted to talk about, that confidence is related to what you do. Now, What does that mean? Let's call that confidence, the competence confidence, or in psychology they call it the competence confidence loop. So what that means is that when you are able to do something in your life, for example, if you're good at your work or your job, you will represent a certain amount of confidence in that job. That's why if you see managers who are good, they're more confident than other workers, or workers in a place who have worked a longer period of time and they know their job well, they're more confident than somebody who has just been hired. And that's very obvious, but what that means is that the more skills you have, the more abilities you have to do things, the more confidence you gain. And that's why it's very important to develop skills in life. And how you develop skills is by studying something more. So for example, if you're learning to be a good speaker, for example, I'm trying to be a good speaker. I think I am getting to be a good speaker now. That's because I have studied being a good speaker. I have practiced it quite a bit now. And the more I practice it, the more I study it, the more I engage with people in terms of speaking, in terms of my body language, in terms of my voice, the more I'm able to speak better. So that means that the more I increase my level of skill, the more my confidence increases in what I'm doing. And you have skills in everything. Skill in terms of what you do, skills in terms of talking to people, and skills in terms of, I don't know, writing, skills in terms of your relationships. How good are you in your relationships? You also have skills in terms of doing things that others might not be able to do. That's where your unique abilities comes in. So my unique ability might be to communicate ideas that might be harder for other people to communicate to you. So it's an intellectual skill. So that means that the more skills we develop, the more confident we become. And the third one is probably the most important idea when it comes to confidence, because we can develop superficial confidence, and a lot of people have superficial confidence where they pretend to be confident, but like I said, that's not really a negative thing. They appear to be confident, and a lot of people have skills that they have that makes them appear to be confident in what they do. And you might find that there are people who appear to be confident, but the more you connect with them, communicate with them, you'll realize that confidence starts to fade away. And there's a third reason for that, and that's the defining part of what makes up confidence, defining part in who we are. So if a person has clarity in terms of who they are, they have clarity in terms of what they want to do in life, they have clarity in terms of what life is about for themselves, then they're naturally developing an inner confidence. So what does that mean? So if a person is confused about what life is, and they're not happy, they're miserable with life, they're confused with how people treat them, he or she is confused with how other people treat him or her. If a person is confused in their relationships, if a person is confused in their work, if a person, more importantly, is confused with how they should be with other people, and even more important than that, how they should be with themselves, then their confidence is low. But if a person is clear about who they are in life, if a person is clear about what they want to do in life, if a person is clear about their purpose, if a person is clear about where they're trying to go, where he or she is trying to go, then the level of inner confidence automatically increases. And you will find that in very, very few people in the world, because when you look around, most people don't do the work of finding out who they are, the work of understanding what it is that they want in life, what makes them happy. And I'll give you a few tips in a bit, but always look at these three things. These three ideas will help you to be more confident in themselves if you're aware of them, other than the tips that I'll give you. First, your superficial confidence is that try to keep a good body posture no matter what. Your body posture signals to your mind that you're more confident, that you believe in yourself, even if that's temporary. And then the second idea that I told you, that you need to increase your level of skill, the confidence competence loop. The more skills you gain, the more confident you become in everything. And the third one is knowing who you are. And the more you know, you understand who you are as a person, what makes you happy, what you're working towards, the more you're able to be more confident internally. And the first two is simple. You're developing skills and you're keeping a good body posture at all times, being aware of your body and being aware of your level of skill. You're always working towards improving your level of skill, whether that be in terms of your relationships, your work, your personal development, whatever it is. But the third one is more subtle. So what does knowing yourself mean? What that means is that you need to find out what makes you happy in life. You need to find out what your purpose is in life. What's your calling? How do you want to contribute to the world? How do you want to live in the world? What's your concept of life? These things don't just come automatically. Most people think that one day something will fall on my head and I'll realize what my purpose is. It doesn't work like that. You have to do the work. So here's my number one tip for you. Every morning when you wake up, ask yourself this: what makes me happy? Or what would I do that would make me happy today or in my life? What am I grateful for? Another question that you can ask is, how do I want to contribute to the world? What is my concept of life? What do I think about life? What do I think about myself, about others? How do I want to deal with others? How do I want to treat myself? How do I want to be treated? These are the questions you can ask yourself every morning. And the more you ask yourself these questions, the more apparent the answers will become. And you can even take a pen and paper and write the answers to these questions as well. And when you do that, you will find something very powerful that begins to happen in your life. You will begin to realize something about yourself. You'll begin to notice that you want to know more about yourself. You want to know more about others. You want to know more about your environment. You want to know more about life. And the more you do this, the more powerful your sense of self becomes. And once you get that level of confidence, then it doesn't matter even if you don't have that much skills. It doesn't matter if you're superficially not that confident. Why? Because slowly what ends up happening is that you begin to develop this sense of integrity, where no matter what situation you're put into, no matter what you have to do, you will have the confidence, and with confidence comes courage. You will begin to have the courage to do whatever it is you need to do in life. Whatever makes you happy, whatever takes you towards your purpose, towards your calling, towards what you want to do in life. And this is very powerful when it comes to our lives, and very few people think about these things. So take the time to do the work. Sit down with yourself every morning, every day. Think about the questions that I asked you. It is very important to know what makes you happy. It is very important to know what you're working towards in life. And it can't just be what others do. For example, somebody wants to be successful in terms of being rich, I'm gonna do the same thing. Somebody wants a car, I'm gonna do the same thing. don't copy what others do. That's the sure way of creating mediocrity in your life. That's the sure way of creating misery in your life. So do the work and post your answers here. What do you think confidence is? And give us some tips about what you've learned about confidence and about relying on yourself, about self-image and about self-belief. And post also your questions as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and share the video. Actually, even if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like and share this video, post your comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. Until next week's live session or video, you guys have a great day, or you have a great day or a great week. Take care. Bye. Let me just turn this up before I go. I'll give you take a look around, give you a nice view of the park. Very nice and peaceful here. All right, take care. Bye.